Welcome to Man in the Sands Pub, Series 2. Fantastic, affordable series out the window. In is a more seasonal, peaty series. So let's do the quick introduction. What have we got? The mistress, the padre, the three amigos, ice, water, neat and naked as nature intended. And to kick off our episode uno for this one, beautiful, beautiful looking bottle. Look at this, gorgeous. Question, do you know how to pronounce it? I'll get to that in a second. But the contemporary styling, absolutely gorgeous. So what are we talking here? Well, we're up into Aberdeenshire, the northeast, the uplands, where in the north and especially also the west, it's known for its peat, and it's the peat that drives the peaty and sometimes smokiness of a whiskey. Also coming from Aberdeenshire is Rachel Barry. She is affectionately known as the First Lady of Scotch, one of the first females recognised and awarded as a master distiller. So we have pedigree in Aberdeenshire. The distillery itself is the Knockdhu Distillery. Knockdhu is Gaelic for Black Hill, and it's the Black Hill that casts the shadow over this distillery. So therefore, we have the Knockdhu Distillery. Now, how do you want to pronounce this little baby? anCnoc. Now, some of you may think it's pronounced anCnoc. Some may think there's a silent C or an N. Well, let me put you out of your misery. It is in fact pronounced anCnoc. So therefore we are drinking anCnoc, and it is the Peatheart. Gorgeous little number. How do you recognise peat and the peatiness in a peaty whiskey? Well, the Peatheart has 40 ppm, parts per million. And what does the 40 relate to? Phenol, Phenol. Phenol is created through the smoke and burning process of the peat. Burning the peat, smoke in the air, phenol transfers across into the whiskey. That's the 40 phenol parts per million, 40 ppm. So that means it's a punchy, peaty whiskey. And a gorgeous bottle. Percentage, 46%. So, fairly strong, but not as strong as we've seen before with a cask strength 50 plus. Now, you may have recalled that I've talked about chill filtered and unchill filtered. This is unchill filtered. It means it's about the natural colour. In addition to that, I can tell you also that they do put back into the environment. And I could go into that again, but I've done it on a couple of other bottles. It's pretty much the same investment process, and they really do value what is around them in that beautiful part of the world in the northeast. I think if I could, I'd like to meet Gordon Bruce, who is the distillery manager, to hear his words about what means to him the anCnoc, and also putting back into the nature, protecting the nature for the future. I think you all agree that's important. Now, getting on to the tasting. Ice, the padre, neat and naked as nature intended. So let's pour. I thought you might enjoy it for series 2, episode 1. Now, I've been enjoying this on my own. And something I picked up in series 1 was that the padre kept winning. Now, usually I let the padre work its magic for at least 10 minutes. However, to give the tasting a chance, I'm only adding it now. So those of you in America and Europe who are getting frustrated that the padre kept winning, it could be a different experience here. And I'm not allowing him an open leg ahead of us on the running, okay? So I think with all of that, it only leaves us to taste her. Hats off, game on. Wonderful. So let's crack on. 46%, heavily peated, 40 ppm. Let's see what it means to me as I taste this. I'm going to taste with ice. I think heavily peated with ice could be interesting. Let's start with the ice. Oh yes. Now I can tell you in Dubai, that is wonderful. You notice I don't nose it. There's not much point nosing on ice. I can try and be someone on TV. Oh, on ice, I can taste blah, blah, blah. Reality, no. Lovely. I'm coming back to that. I like that. This would be a wonderful drink for me out in the garden in the chill of the Dubai air in the winter. It does get down to minus, it does get down to about 15, 14, sometimes 13, rarely. Okay, I'm excited. That's why I wanted to have the ice first. Also, I'm ready. Now, let's go in. Hello, my beauty. What can I nose? Well, firstly, I do want to mention this. As we're moving on to more sophisticated blends and single malts, I want to talk to you about looking at the colour. This is pale. What does that mean? Well, you may recall I've discussed about a speyside before, and they'd be paler than traditionally than a heavily smoky, such as a Lagavulin. Well, this is heavily peated, but it's pale. Immediately, that's interesting to me. You see, I'm delicately nosing. I'm not nosing smokiness. If you've ever had a Lafroy, a Lagavulin, you have the peatiness, smokiness coming through. No. I'm getting a bit of fruitiness. Now, they do mention that in the tasting notes, but I am getting that here. That's lovely. It really is light and smooth, not heavy. Okay, enough chat. Man in the sands, I hear you shout at me. Let's crack on. Oh, yes! Oh, it's fizzing on my tongue. It's kissed the inside of my lips. Tongue is still fizzing a bit. Warmth is coming. As you breathe, second and third breath, warmth is coming. It's come in. It's, oh gosh, lovely. Not a burn. Warmth. It's glowing. It's like someone's put a bit of an amber coal in. It's just, when you blow, it sparks a little. Oh, this takes me back to Lancashire. Oh, yes. So, what am I thinking? Definitely fruity. And taste. Let's go in again. I'm struggling to give you tasting notes because I'm enjoying it so much. So to me, this is a peaty whiskey, but it's light on the aftertaste. It fizzles in the mouth. Glows. Really glows. I mean, it'd be wonderful, a bit of cold air. And you then have this. Oh, it's wonderful. From a tasting note position, if I was to think of my paternal grandfather, and he would sometimes have dates, pear, and apple. Now, this isn't so much datey, but he'd have them stewed remember my grandma always stewing them for him. So sort of a, you not eat what we're eating. No, I want my stewed prunes and dates and so on. And I happen to love the pears and the apples. This is a light sweetness, as you might have a pear cider, that lighter sweetness. It has a richness that comes through that you could almost, you know when you have a stewed apple and it's a bit stronger in the taste, but the initial is light, a bit like a pear. That's what we've got. We've got the and then go, ooh, oh yes. And now you want the dollop of cream, don't you? That's what I've got right now. The sweetness, the slightly stronger taste, the warmth of the heat of the stewed pear and apple taste going through my mouth. Now we want the dollop of cream. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. I'm just thinking why I should continue tasting. I might just drink it, absolutely. By the way, I've been talking for a good minute or so. The finish is still there. So let's see what happens next with the water. Hola padre. No, the Padre's out. Woohoo! For you in American Europe who are getting fed up with the Padre winning. The Padre, amigo, tu, numero dos. He's out. I'm going to go back to the ice. I'm really curious. For me in Dubai, I really like this. Light. The ice brings something out that I'm very surprised about. It takes away a bit of smokiness in the sense of how it warms you. It doesn't hit you as much, obviously, because the ice dilutes that. But it is delightful. I would not hesitate in drinking this on ice. And I think it's wonderful as it is. And on this note, oh, my friends, glorious friends, buy this baby, try it naked, try it with ice, and enjoy it, and share it. This is a sharing whiskey. It's wonderful. I thank you for being a part of my journey. I can't wait to share more peaty whiskies with you. Until then, take care. Adios, and look after yourselves. And also, building up, aren't we, to a Merry Christmas.